Hello, all. Welcome back to episode 5 of Am I the Asshole?
Seriously, you assholes, not one of you has called to rescue me or sent anything to save me. Really? Really?
Aw.
I know who you are, people. Also,
Okay.
have you noticed? Jim Finch has missed another premiere again.
Just a bot in the chat. Oh,
Please remember to DM Jim Finch, giving him abuse for having not turned up to another premiere.
sounds good to me. All right. Number 1. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that I get to decide who lives in my house? My girlfriend Alice, 34 female, and I, 34 male, have been have been together for a while now. Although we are not married, we live in my house. We were discussing marriage options though. The issue is, as my parents are getting older and I have recently moved to the USA, I wanted them to remain together with me, and so did they. I offered to bring them here and they were agreeable to the idea. But I did not want to leave them alone or to just get a house for them like that, so I asked them to live with me. When Alice heard about it, she was against the idea. She said that I can't just invite someone else to live with us, and I told her that it was not just someone else and that we were talking about my parents. She said that she does not want that and asked me why I am even doing it. I told her, well, they are my parents and I want to look after them. I am not asking you to do that either. She protested by saying that I am valuing my parents more than her and asked me to just get them to an old age home or something. I lost my temper at that and told her to mind her own business and that it's against my values to just abandon my parents once they get old. It resulted in a full blown argument, and in the end, I told her, I get to decide who lives in my house, so don't interfere with my affairs. She's now sour with me and is not talking to me, but I wonder whether I did anything wrong. Am I the asshole?
No, and yes, a little bit. Yeah, kind of. Someone else, whilst it's your house, it's also their home, and you didn't mention it to them until it was all done and dusted with your parents. That makes you a little bit arsehole. However, your girlfriend is a total cunt.
Yeah, there is an edit on the original post. I told her about it to discuss it with her in the sense that I let her know beforehand in advance so that she could prepare for it and to also get her opinion, but she was against it from the very beginning. But as they are my parents, I did not want her approval per se, if that makes it clearer. And no, she does not pay the rent. She's from the same culture as I am and has taken care of her parents before, not in the same way I did, but she's done a lot for them herself. We've been together for around 5 to 7 months. Wow.
Get rid.
Run fast. Especially if part of your culture is to take care of your parents and she plans on doing the same thing. Why?
I
Why
would
is
just
it okay
point,
for you to do it?
oh, fuck no, mine are going in an OAP home. As far away from me as is humanly possible. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, nope.
Thank you for that.
Your dad can come and stay with us.
My dad's awesome. I already told him
Your
that.
dad gets drunk and shoots himself. That's awesome. I'm going to have so much fun with this guy.
Tell the whole world.
Huh?
Tell the whole world.
You might
It
be
was just
making frequent visits to A&E.
and it was just his hand.
I love the way that you try and make it sound better by saying he only shot himself in the hand.
Yeah, it was just his hand. It wasn't something vital.
He's got two of them. What's the matter? Really? That's your attempt to try and make it better.
Did it work?
No,
I
no,
know.
especially not
Well, at
because
least if
as
you're
a fact
getting
the
drunk with him,
audience may not have, your dad's a veteran.
hush.
Your dad is military trained and shot himself.
He's also a 70-year-old veteran.
I'm just saying.
But at least if you're going shooting with my dad, I'll find out before 3 weeks after it happens. Just saying.
Eh,
'Cause apparently somebody was too embarrassed to let me know.
I can't think why.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my sister to not come back to my home because of her unruly children? Yesterday was my birthday. My sister came in from New York to spend the weekend with me and brought her kids along. I'm not big on birthdays, but I figured I'd do something small and at least spend time with my family. My sister arrived Friday night with the intention of spending the weekend. I live on the third floor. Her kids woke up at 6 a.m. Saturday morning and were running in my small 3 bedroom apartment. She also has 2 teenagers who left my bathroom messy and out of order. They were also leaving lights on, turning on the heat without notifying me, running up the light and electric bill. I gently pointed these things out to her and told her that we're on the third floor and out of respect for the neighbors downstairs, should try to keep things quiet. I should point out that I have no kids and enjoy this aspect about my life. I don't hate kids and enjoy being around the children in my family. But I do get annoyed when kids are unruly and disrespectful, related or not. Anyways, she packed her things and made it seem like we were all good. Said she was staying at my other sister's house and coming back the following day so we could celebrate my birthday on Sunday. She gave me no indication that she was upset about anything I said or did during her time here. The next day, I got a measly HBD text. She was a no show. Can't think of what HBD is off the top of my head. She did not come to my home and left back to New York from my sister's home. I responded, thank you, and then later found out that she was upset that I asked her to control her children while in my home. My mother eventually told me why she was a no show for my actual birthday the following day, and I texted her and let her know that moving forward, when she comes into town, that she should stay at my sister's. She tried to act like she was unaware about what was going on, but I couldn't really give a shit. The damage is done. Am I in the wrong for asking her to rein in her kids while they're in my home? I ended up spending my birthday alone with zero family, all because of a misunderstanding. Maybe it was deserved.
You're an arsehole. You are that miserly, grumpy uncle that no one likes and wants to spend time with. I am not surprised that everybody no showed your birthday.
I disagree.
Look at what his complaints actually are. Teenagers left a bathroom messy. Really? Have you
And
ever known a teenager that doesn't leave a bathroom messy?
no, but that's why I have a separate bathroom.
Uh huh.
But
They turned the heating on. They left lights on.
okay, nobody
Freaking
touches my
teenagers!
thermostat. Thermostat, If somebody touches my thermostat, I will break their fingers. That is a rule in my
Becca,
house.
everyone messes with your thermostat. You're constantly complaining that the damn kids have messed with your thermostat,
Yeah, and they get yelled at for it too.
and
If
none of them have broken fingers.
that's a little bit of an
I know you're
exaggeration,
bluffing.
but
They know you're bluffing. The audience knows you're bluffing.
it is a rule in my house. Whoever actually works gets to control the thermostat. And since nobody else works or does anything, I get to control the thermostat.
Uh huh.
It's the rule. That doesn't mean it's always followed, but it is the
It's
fucking
never
rule.
followed. Everyone knows
But
you are far too nice and are just bluffing. You can't make threats of physical violence because everyone knows you won't do them.
anyway,
See, if I turned around and said I would break people's fingers if they did that,
you'd be telling the truth.
uh huh.
Oh, HBD, happy birthday. Duh. Had a blonde moment. Um, at least the poster asked her to rein in her children instead of yelling that at the kids herself.
Whinging about things that are just children.
Except the running around the upstairs, that can lead to neighbor complaints and can get you kicked out of your apartment.
One
If
time will not get you kicked out, and the
if you have an
neighbours
asshole
can
landlord,
complain.
I don't know. I think that at least, and I'm pretty sure she didn't say in those exact words, "Can you rein in your kids?"
He's a
But
grumpy old git.
we don't know if it's male.
Sounds male.
But
He's a
at least he
grumpy old.
asked. There are some updates. Edit, wow, didn't expect for this to get any views or comments. Thought I should add some more information since some of the comments requested a bit more to make a proper assessment of whether I am an asshole. The kids are 13, 14, and 3. The 3-year-old is very rambunctious, while 13 and 14-year-olds are always on their phones and leave messes everywhere they go. I could tell whether they were in a room or not after they left the room, depending on the condition of said room. My other sister's 2-year-old was also there. My neighbor just came in from a work trip Friday and was most likely jet lagged and tired. I wanted to be respectful of that. New. I just moved in on November 1st. I am broken on a tight budget. He just
Uh
moved
huh.
into that apartment. I can understand
Uh-huh.
him not wanting to cause.
No, it's a 2 and 3-year-old running around. You make more noise for the neighbor walking around as an adult than the 2 or 3-year-old does running.
Um, Final edit. I just want to say thank you to everyone who offered their 2 cents and really tried to play devil's advocate without getting their personal feelings involved. For the record, I do not hate kids. I just personally decided to not have any because I grew up in a dysfunctional family and did not want to pass that on. I still have a lot to work on and have learned a lot from this post, from childcare to healthy communication tips, etc. Although I mostly got not the asshole votes, I will still be apologizing and reaching out to make sure we are in good terms moving forward. She will always be welcome, but there are rules to follow in my home, just like there are in all of your homes. Thanks again for your responses. Happy holidays to you and your homes.
He's a cantankerous old git. I'm gonna guess this person has been living on their own for a very long time.
He doesn't really say his age.
And I can see why.
Okay.
Those people.
I apologize. We're back. Dan had a technical difficulty. Had to
No,
be
I did not.
gated.
No, I didn't.
Was it on mine?
Uh-huh.
His speaker
Not
decided
my
to play
fault. He
horn.
got stuck in the hole.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate Christmas with my sister in law, brother in law's newborn baby when struggling with infertility? Okay, on to the issue. My 33 female husband, 34 male, and I have been struggling with TTC for more than 3 years. It shouldn't have been this long, but we were only able to get a referral to the fertility clinic a year after we started trying, and the fertility clinic itself had a waiting list. And when we were finally were able to see a fertility doctor, he did an HSG, then sent us home to try some more on our own. All in all, lots of waiting. I don't really want to get into how I feel about all of this. I think anyone who has gone through infertility gets it. It's a depressing place to be in. Last year, out of nowhere, our sister in law, my husband's sister, and brother in law announced they were expecting. They hadn't dated that long and don't really have stable jobs and are quite younger than us. Sister in law is 27. So we weren't expecting this. My parents in law were absolutely ecstatic since it's the first grandchild in the family. My husband is not very close to his sister. For as long as we've dated, at this point, we've been together for 9 years. We never visited, they've never visited each other or done anything together. Growing up, they argued a lot and never really cared for each other. They have very different personalities, very different career paths. I'm pretty sure if they were not related, they probably wouldn't even say hi to each other if they ran into each other in town. I don't really know how my parents in law feel about this relationship. The one day in the year they want to celebrate together is Christmas Eve. It's a tradition that every year my mother in law cooks and invites me and my husband, sister in law, and brother in law over. It's the only day in the year that we see these people. We have no relationship with them. Usually we go, but this year with the baby, I'm not really in the mood into the mood of going and putting on a straight face. I know how it sounds, but being around babies is difficult for me at the moment. We're also not that close to them, and I just don't very much see the need to spend Christmas Eve together this year. Well, I mentioned this to my mother in law, and she called me an asshole. Told me that I'm ruining the baby's first Christmas, and she practically told me she won't talk to me ever again and that our relationship is ruined. I tried explaining to her that over the past year, we've also had multiple miscarriages. One of them made me lose a lot of blood and had to be in the hospital for it, and I just would like some peace and quiet for the holidays. But she insisted that I'm not mentally okay and that I need to suck it up so that we can do Christmas Eve like we always do. For the sake of the baby, because how would your baby feel if your sister in law does this? I don't know, Reddit. Am I the asshole for not wanting to be with brother in law, sister in law, and the in laws on Christmas because we've been struggling with infertility? Edit. My husband doesn't care for Christmas. He just wants the peace. He wants to keep the peace and keep my mother in law happy. So when she said I'm not mentally okay, he told her we'd look into therapy, which we won't because we're already in therapy. I'm also very sorry if my description of sister in law and brother in law came out as judgmental. It's not the intention, just wanted to provide some context.
Yep, definitely an asshole.
Yeah.
And oh boy, does the jealousy come out in. Yeah, that
Um,
whole post reeks of jealousy. She's pissed because they've managed to get pregnant and she hasn't.
so if she never gets pregnant, is she going to avoid babies for the rest of her life?
Apparently so, because, hey, the family has this one tradition. The only time they bother to get together. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think the mother-in-law is an asshole for how she put it.
Sounds pretty straight.
It's very insensitive. And if the baby is a couple months old, um, throwing in her face, how would your baby feel if your sister-in-law did that? The baby's not going to know.
True.
All right, a comment that I highlighted. Your mother in law is pretty insensitive. I would encourage you to go too, but not the way your mother in law did. Feel like you should not go because mother in law was over the top. Original poster said, I think that's part of the issue, to be honest. I never felt like they understood our struggles. We recently, this year in August, opened up about our struggles, and all I hear from them is that we're impatient because it hasn't happened over 2 months, or that the cousin or of the aunt's daughter, some very distant relative, had to go through IUIs and IVFs to get her baby. That's it. Other than that, they ignore the discussion and don't comment. Consequently, we also stopped talking to them about our fertility issues. They haven't had issues conceiving, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Very jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just can't have children.
Some people also shouldn't have children. Just saying.
Just some of the excuses that she's giving just portray her
Reek
as,
of being nothing but excuses.
and the way she tried so hard for the context, even if she knew the person and was friends or close to that relative, I think she would have made up more excuses for that person too, just to not go.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep. So I think everybody's an asshole, even the husband, because he's just whatever.
Oh, he's in a rock, stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's got a wife that's an arsehole and a mother that's an arsehole.
Very true. And a sister that probably has no clue.
Uh-huh.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay my mom for babysitting my soon to be newborn?
Depends.
Yeah, there's some factors that need to go into it. I, 25 female, am 7.5 months pregnant with our first baby. My husband, 27 male, is currently in grad school, so a decent portion of our income is going to his tuition. We're comfortable, but we just can't afford 2,000 plus a month in daycare fees, which, yes, that's what it costs around here. And since space is limited, most places are requiring full-time attendance when we'd only need 3 days and all the baby's needs. About a year ago, my mom, 49 female, came to us asking when we were going to have children, seeing as she's getting older, wants to be able to be an active part in our child's life. We told her that right now we couldn't afford daycare for a potential baby with my husband's tuition. My mom reassured us that she'd happily watch our potential baby 3 days a week while we're both working. I told her my husband and I would take that info and get back to her. After a couple days of debating, I texted my mom to assure that she would have no problem watching our potential child, which she eagerly said, absolutely. I didn't feel comfortable not paying my mom anything, so my husband and I discussed it and agreed to paying my mom $1,000 per month for childcare and for any needs the baby has while in her care. So we called my mom and told her that we'd be willing to pay her, and if that was good, we'd start taking steps to have a child. She was thrilled, and she once again said that we absolutely don't have to pay her and that spending time with her grandchild was more important. It's been almost a year since that conversation, and anytime childcare is brought up with her around, she jumps in saying that she's going it for free. And my husband and I are lucky to have a mom like her, which we are. Today my mom and I were at lunch and she asked, "How should I expect to be paid for babysitting every month? Will you guys split up the 1,000 weekly, biweekly, or one lump sum every month?" I was taken aback at that question because for nearly a year she's been insisting she'd do it for free. We hadn't been planning on paying her any more than baby expenses. I told her this and she responded, "It's wrong to make your elderly mother watch an infant and not pay her." We ended our lunch early because we were both upset and confused, and by the time I got home, my husband had said that my dad, 53 male, had already called saying he's not taking sides, but did expect us to be paying my mom. So, am I the asshole?
You've spent a year convincing her that she should get paid. You're then complaining because she now thinks she should get paid.
Oh, it's been a year since
I'm
the final
confused.
conversation about the pay, and told her we'd be willing to pay, and she said that they absolutely don't have to pay her and that spending time with her
No, she
grandchild
said
was more hold on, was
every
most
time
important.
it's been brought up, they've been insistent that they're paying her. And the mother's been saying, "Oh, you don't have to."
And then
So,
it
yeah,
said,
it's been brought up a few times and they've been convincing this woman that she should get paid. Then they're fucking surprised when she thinks she should get paid.
she ever since the conversation where she said that she would absolutely that they don't absolutely don't have to pay her and that spending time with the grandchild is more important, It's been almost a year since that conversation, and anytime childcare is brought up with her around, she jumps in saying she's doing it for free. My husband and I are lucky to have a mom like her. So for the last year, she's been saying that she would do it for free.
Yeah, but also for the last year, they've been saying they're going to pay her.
Okay.
They've
Um,
both been saying their things for over a year.
okay.
Uh,
I read it differently.
I just
If sh
basically think they're all arseholes.
if she was willing to pay $1,000 a month, and then for the last year, the mom's been saying, "No," her coming up now and saying, "Are you gonna pay how are you gonna pay me?" is kind of a dick move.
I think they're both arseholes.
Even if you were giving your mom a smaller amount, that's better than nothing. 'Cause but when it all started out, mom was saying at the very beginning that she wanted a grandchild, and that she would be happy to take care of the child. And they were the one that brought up money, the original poster.
Hmm.
So
I
all
think they're
along,
both arseholes,
in a way, yes, they are.
mom and daughter.
And that, sorry, animals. Um,
Oh, that's what we're calling it now.
it's the cat.
Uh huh. Wait, did you just say it was your pussy?
No, it's the cat.
That's what I said.
Not the same thing.
Just says,
No,
just
it's
says
not.
it was your pussy.
So yes, uh, the mother-in-law. I'm sorry, the mother should definitely have. I don't know what she's thinking if she's been saying for over a year that she's doing it for free. Why she's
They're
all of a
all
sudden
arseholes.
asking. Yeah, they're all assholes. Um,
We are immensely grateful you are not related to any of these people.
yeah. Um, it is situational as to whether or
Hmm?
not you should pay. It is situational as to whether or not you should pay your parent for watching. If they're saying all along that they don't need the money, they don't need to be paid, they just want to spend time with the grandchild. It's only 3 days a week. Stop.
Didn't do
It is
anything.
no, it's the cat.
Uh huh.
He knocked over my trash can.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Okay. Final story. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter in law she isn't allowed around her nieces until she gets a respectable job? Hmm. I'm going to keep this backstory really short since it's complicated and confusing. My daughter in law, Sarah, is close to my daughter's kids, 2 and 4. My daughter, Maddie, lost custody, and I have custody now. My son isn't around much due to his job and can be away for months at a time. There are respectable job and not respectable jobs. My daughter-in-law doesn't have a respectable job. She works at a call center trying to scam people. According to her, she's been looking for a new job, but has been saying that for a year. This is the first time she asked to see the kids. I told her I will not allow her to be near them until she gets a respectable job, that her morals suck, and I have told her before to get a respectable job, that they are young children. I don't want them around her. This started an argument and her calling me a jerk for keeping the kids away from her. My son is on my ass about it. Since I wasn't clear enough, she steals people's bank information. I have reported it and it keeps popping back up. My daughter did nothing wrong and doesn't have custody because she is injured and can't take care of them. I guess people were saying that she lost custody because of an issue, so she wanted to make it clear that she doesn't have custody because she is injured and couldn't physically take care of them.
Okay.
Now, the scam is they try to get people's bank info by pretending there is a virus they need to fix and getting access to their computers. It's messed up, and that company department has been shut down before then, keeps popping up.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I understand where she's coming from in regards to the not a respectable job. How does that have to do anything with the kids?
Reasons?
I apologize for the if you hear the that.
Becca. Becca. Is your pussy growling again?
He's yelling because he wants out of my room.
Your pussy's yelling because it
No,
wants out.
the cat.
Uh-huh.
Uh, all right,
Okay,
back to the.
Mrs. Slocum.
Her job has nothing to do with her meeting the kids. While it's not a respectable job, yeah, it's not related. It's not. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a little bit extreme. What do you think? You're not going to say anything? Why not?
I'm scared your pussy might growl at me again.
About the story.
I mean, I can understand a little bit of it. It's they are committing crimes. That's kind of a bit of a problem. But also, it doesn't really have anything to do with the children. So, But yeah,
So I think so. Is mom the asshole?
yes,
I
and daughter.
agree.
She's scamming people. It's kind of,
Yeah, but desperate people do desperate things sometimes. Not saying it's
it's.
okay. Not saying it's okay at all.
Uh-huh.
However,
There you
is
go,
she
folks.
holding?
You heard it. Becca's in favor of phone scammers.
No. My question was, does she keep the kids away from her son as well because of what his wife does? There's nothing about that. Because if she truly thought that it was so morally reprehensible, she would keep her son away from the kids too, because he married that woman.
Maybe she didn't have that job at that time.
Okay. But he's still married to her now.
Wait, you think they
So
should split up?
that's not what I said. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's just the mom. I would like to know how she treats her son for being married to the daughter in law, Sarah, in regards to the double standard. Because it might just be she just doesn't like her daughter in law for some other reason. But then again, daughter in
Wait,
laws
you
usually
have
aren't
to
good enough.
like your in-laws? Oh,
Maybe she doesn't like her daughter in law for another reason.
When did this
Like-
whole thing about having to like in-laws become a thing?
Well, if you don't like your in-laws, would you keep your kids away from them?
Depends why I don't like them.
Exactly. So what else has Sarah done that that her mother-in-law doesn't like her?
Saying that though, your future in-laws don't like you.
Says I'm American.
So what have you done? By
Circumstances
your
of birth.
logic, not
Circumstances of
necessarily.
birth.
Huh?
Circumstances of birth. Nothing I had anything to do with.
Uh-huh.
hmm And on that note,
It's the drugs.
thank you all for joining us today.
I am so dead.
And we'll see you the next one. Bye.
Please send care packages and rescue me. Please.